Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload is going to be an episode on a a pattern shift from the bitter Arctic cold air that has been affecting much of the Midwest and eastern part of the country. And sorry about that. And into a more of a pattern that's gonna be more zonal, but not completely zonal. It's not gonna be a huge warm up. It's gonna be a significant warm up, but it's not going to last that long. And then we could see some more snows, some heavy snows coming towards, again, the same areas that have been hit over and over again. And there's also one snowstorm that will occur during the warm up to the north. So right now there's a massive storm making landfall onto California and will be making landfall in the next couple of hours and days. Should make landfall around say Sunday, early Sunday morning. And as we do so, we already see that a lot of this moisture and air gets pushed out. The 1040 line or the 540 line, sorry, is usually the rain slash frozen line or rain slash snow line, and that's usually the 32-degree mark. Again, this isn't 100% always going to be correct with the rain snow proportions. People sometimes ask me, why is there a 540 line over here, but it shows the rain? Sometimes the atmosphere isn't, fully cooled down or fully warmed up. So the 540 sometimes can indicate it's basically a rule of thumb that the 540 is basically somewhere around the 32. And look at that, 540 is right there, that line, and it is way further up to the northeast. These areas have been seeing temperatures -40, -50 in some areas, so below Fahrenheit and below zero in Fahrenheit. So this is a definitely a massive, massive, massive warm up, and it will. It won't last too long, but it will do a lot of melting to the snow. And this storm quickly evolves into the west. It ejects from the Rockies into Kansas, Nebraska, produces a wide swath of snow for North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. And this is not going to be a great rain producer on the southern side. You can see some light showers. Nothing great, though, nothing significant. Maybe right by the actual system, some heavier rain and some heavier snow to the northwest of it, but nothing significant as of now looking. So not the heavy rain won't add to the hydraulic issue that's already happening with the melting snow. So that's one good news. But then the second piece of good news is that this will quickly end. You can see Tuesday already, Monday night for many areas in the Midwest where they have the heavy snow cover, especially around Northwest Illinois and Iowa and Wisconsin. They have had quite a bit of snow. They have several feet of snow laying in some areas, so that will melt. But you can see that that the 540 lines quickly over those areas in around Tuesday already, late Tuesday or late Monday into early Tuesday. So the snow melt will stop, and on top of that, we could see another system. You could see potentially a massive one, potentially a very big system. The GFS FV3 GFS have been hinting at this, and they are still very confident that this will happen. You could see potentially a first piece making its way into or on Wednesday into the Midwest, and then potentially a massive icing event. It could potentially be there could be potentially be quite a bit of snow on the north side, quite a bit of heavy rain, and this is just the newest model run, so it only goes out to 150. But I needed to record this video now because later I wouldn't have time, so that's why the model run is only halfway there too. But previous model runs, you can see we're still showing a snowstorm, just not as much icing and not as strong as this one or the one that they're showing now. There were several phases to the storm. You could see that's the first storm over there, and then a second phase, third phase, fourth phase, and potentially a fifth phase out into the northeast. So this could be a very flooding potential. There could be lots of flooding. There could be lots of damage due to the heavy snow that will fall and a crippling ice storm that may occur. So we could be looking at something very interesting developing. Let's look at the FV3 GFS 12Z Friday. So we have that first storm coming in through. I'll show you the snowfall amounts in just a minute. Nothing spectacular. I would say maybe up to 6 inches and 7 inches in some areas. But you can see this quickly, another storm that already make it's why this one's still going on, makes its way onto California and Nevada into the west, and this ejects out into the plains. And look at that, potentially a massive snowstorm, very big system, quite a bit of ice with it. And then later on, we see a pretty restless period of temperatures and of precip and weather. And overall, a very active pattern. So let's look at the snowfall totals from the first system. Let's zoom in on the north central United States. I guess we can't with the FV3 GFS. I should have remembered that. And let's just click on total snowfall as of now. And let's see. So, and like I mentioned, there's not going to be a terrible, there's not going to be a terrible amount of snow. It's just the system isn't going to have too much strength while it's ejecting from the Rockies. You can see it picks up quite a bit of strength here up in southeastern or southern Canada, south of James Bay. But over here in this area, it's still not as strong, and it's just a northerly component to the storm. Once it gets over here, the southerly component gets in of heavy rain, which not heavy, but light rain, light to moderate rain that develops and gets and the gets feeds into the cold air, and then that develops quite a bit more snow. But over here, nothing terrible. But I'd also like to point out the massive amounts of snow for the west, very very large amounts. Some areas 50 inches plus, not a problem, especially in the Sierra Nevada. And we can see with that second storm, this is the FV3 GFS putting out a ton of snow with this one. There could be some amounts, maybe over a foot and a half, and this is still very far out. We don't have confidence this will still occur, but you could be definitely looking at a blockbuster system of some sort early to midweek next week. So this is definitely something that's concerning. Let's go to the NAM 12KM model and let's see how much snow it's putting out for the north central United States. Hopefully, yes, we can zoom in on this area since this is mainly the area where they will be seeing the heaviest snow. And as we look on into northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, UP of Michigan, North Dakota, around 7, 6, 7 inches. I would not say over a foot of snow. I think that's not really going to happen. It's maybe possible in some localized areas, but I'd rather say under 8 inches of snow. Under 10 inches is a safe bet, I would say. Once we get out here into the provinces of Canada into southern Canada, we could be seeing much more snow, over a foot in some areas. But as of now, here it doesn't look like a major system of snow. It's definitely a good coating, a good dose. But these areas are so used to it that this is still obviously this is still a big deal, but not as big as some of the other storms we've seen this winter, which have been much bigger up there. So this is the European model. You know what's interesting about this? The European model is not advertising that big storm that will be occurring across the central U.S. It's having it more of a northerly track. So this is how much snow it's saying the first system will leave. Again, look, 6, 7 inches, fairly widespread, over over to 3 inches, 4 inches, possible in some localized areas. Again, 6, 7 inches, but it's only as we further get into Ontario and Quebec that we see these snowfall totals really ramp up into the foot range and over foot. So, but you could see this is the first system, and in the next 10 days, you could see that it has a massive storm up to the north and quite a bit of snow. Maybe not just one storm, but quite a bit of snow. You could see 19 inches, the Arrowhead of Minnesota, and 17 inches, UP of Michigan, right there, the highest point, 18.3. So, quite a bit of snow. But again, look at this. Not a lot for areas like Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, which the GFS ensembles were showing fairly good agreement that there will be a system. So there's still a lot to figure out. The European model has been doing a decent job lately, not stellar, but hasn't been doing poorly. So we'll just have to see whether it's wrong yet again or whether it's actually onto something this time. And we'll just have to wait and see because right now disagreement. Let's go to the National Weather Service and let's see what they have to say about this first system. So you can see those green areas, those light green areas. Hopefully you can see that in central Illinois. Those are basically hydraulic outlooks from all the melting snow and the light rain that will add on to that. These temperatures in this area will be up to the 15th, and the further southern you go, you could be looking at 60s, 70s, even 80s in some locations. So this is a definite sign that winter is waning and it's slowly getting into spring. But the problem is that we still have a whole month ahead of us. So it's going to be a slow process, but it's definitely going to be occurring ever so slowly. Let's go to North Dakota. You can see the whole state of North Dakota is under a winter storm watch. And some of far north, western Minnesota is in a winter storm watch. Montana's in a winter storm warning, but the whole state of the whole state of North Dakota is under a winter storm watch. And for some reason, it's not loading. Hopefully, we can get this to load. But also notice how there's winter storm warnings in north central and basically in the Sierra Nevada for California. That's because of the big storm that will be occurring and producing snow over there, which will eventually come and produce snow in North Dakota. So let's go to what their latest situation report is, what they have to say. So you can see they have they have the further north you go, up to its point in north central Minnesota, North Dakota, we see that it's most likely in cities like Minot, Newton, Williston, Harvey, Washburn, Devil's Lake area around, maybe, or I should say not around, but the greatest potential for 6 inches, for at least 6 inches. I think they're a little bit overhyping this, and the National Weather Service tends to do this with big storms. They maybe not big storms, but just any sort of system. They usually put out a little bit more than what's forecasted, and that's okay because it gives more people more prepared. But I don't know if it's necessarily accurate. You can see the further south you go, the lower potential, but the whole northern, I would say, whole northern 2/3 of the state is in fairly good potential for 6 inches, around 6 inches. I wouldn't say above 6 inches. I think there's not going to be great amounts above 6 inches, but several inches of 6, 7 locations of 6, 7 inches is definitely possible. So I don't know why it's really slow right now. I want to click on one location and see if we could just see what the snowfall, see what the forecast is. But I guess they're no, okay. There we go. It's loading. So we could see this is going to be occurring into Sunday and Sunday night, and then Monday morning it wanes down, and then the cold returns yet again for at least the northern part of the country. But you could see, you could see. So at this point, they're not showing too much snow, or I should say, they're not showing the snow in the forecast yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to say too much snow. I meant to say they're not showing the snow in the forecast yet because it's a little bit too far out. But you could see they say heavy snow for Sunday, and then snow a little bit lighter intensity for Sunday night. So I would say 4 to 6 inches is a fairly good bet, and anything above that, I would question that a little bit more. So overall, this video is just kind of talking about these two systems that will be occurring. Heavy snow headed for the U.S., guys. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you all guys next episode. See ya. Bye.